what I was doing here, I told you guys, if you watched the last live video, got to get everything back together. Now, because this car is raised up so high, it's difficult to get the axle lined back up with the spring plate. So what I need to do is I needed to take this jack and put it underneath the spring plate, and you want to do it so that it's parallel. I've got the tool on here, you need to have that as well, and you're going to jack up the spring plate while you're tightening the tool here. You also got to make sure those are tightened down till you get this to the point where you can move the. You're going to want to start bolting together. Once you get the bolts in here, then you can release the tension. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be replacing these bolts here that I put in with the big washers to keep everything nice and straight and centered with the ones that were in here previously. So these are my longer working ones, and these are the, well, they're not original, but the ones that were in there. So that's what I'll be doing next. And then once that's together, I'll put everything back together, and then we'll move to the other side. We do have this swing axle boot, appears to be leaking. Not sure I'm going to do that today, only because I don't have a lot of time, and it's not that big of a deal to get in here and swap it out. Big thing is getting the suspension done, then we move on from there. So that's where we are, just keeping you guys updated, showing you how things are going little by little. Real world, real time, real mistakes, real triumphs, real failures, everything together, just keeping it real, showing you what I'm doing, things that I've done that maybe you agree with, you don't agree with. You know, either way, if you're working on something like this, the rear suspension, you've got to play it safe. Make sure you do everything the right way. I am not an expert. I'm just a guy who's been doing this for about 40 years. Did it for a living for a short time, as a hobbyist for the rest of the time. And just like anybody else out there, I am open to learn new ways and just get things done. I mean, we're all here to share with each other, and that's why I do these videos. I want you guys to be able to benefit from, you know, my triumphs and my failures too. So this is where we are, and I appreciate anybody who's tuned in to watch. I've got to get two hands and get back working on this so I can get it back together. Again, I am just holding the phone. I said we got some new people turning in. So just a real quick recap for those who are tuning in right now. We are this Beetle. This is a 1997 Mexican-built air-cooled VW Beetle. The Mexican manufacturing plant down in Puebla, Mexico, they never went to the independent rear suspension with the CV joints. They kept the swing axle transmission that Volkswagen ended with the German Beetles in 1968. So 69 forward all had the IRS rear suspension, except for the Mexican Beetles. So as you can see here, got the old school swing axle in here. But I got to get back to getting this buttoned up. I've got these extra long bolts in here to keep everything straight and organized while I'm getting everything tightened down. This is the tool we use to raise the spring plate in order to get it back on and get it over this ledge. And we had to raise it up this height in order to be able to reconnect it to the axle. I use this jack under here to raise this up and get this position. Now I've got to bolt it all back together, get the shock back in, get the drum back on, reconnect the parking brake, which is down here, goes right through here and connects here. Get the axle nut back, torqued back on, then move to the other side. So thank you all for tuning in, and I appreciate the support. Have a great day.